But let's talk about the two documents, one through ICE, right, in terms of chronicling who he was, and another from this anti-gang unit, I believe, in Prince George's County.
That's right.
What did you find that they said when they categorized him?
Well, the two are a little inconsistent, but the important one is the one that was released yesterday. And what it really is double hearsay, as we would say. It's a detective who wasn't brought to court, never testified, saying what somebody allegedly told him, and that person is a confidential informant, and we don't know anything about him. So it's double hearsay as to him.
So a confidential informant says something to someone in this unit, and then it also comes down to the hat.
Yeah, so what the only thing that the detective observed himself was he was wearing a Chicago Bulls hat and some sort of hoodie. The hoodie had some sort of insignia that one of the officers called indicative of Hispanic gang culture, not even a particular gang. And so it all came down to the detective also said he spoke to some confidential informant who had been reliable in the past, and that person identified him as a high-ranking member of MS-13, a clique called the Westerns.
Right, which when you looked into it in the government, it says Westerns don't even operate really in that state.
That's right. They're in Brentwood, Long Island, and he's never lived in New York.
Okay, so we have a confidential informant, we have this officer, neither appeared in court, and I'm not saying they should, it's immigration, it's not exactly the same due process situation. However, when you tried to find this officer, or at least look into that part of it, what did you learn?
Yeah, it wasn't me. His original lawyer, after this happened, who seemed to be sort of shocked at the time in 2019, tried to track down the officer and was told that he had been suspended. The lawyer tried to speak to other people in the gang unit, and they refused. Just recently, this week, in fact, a new Republic reporter, Greg Sargent, tracked down, figured out who the detective was. He was actually not just suspended, but indicted, and later pled guilty to a misconduct charge that was unrelated. It was leaking confidential information about an interrogation, about a police investigation to a commercial sex
So
worker.
in a way, like our whole portrait of him as described by the White House is in fact informed by somebody who was indicted for misconduct.
Yeah, it's a double hearsay stemming from a document written by somebody indicted for misconduct.
Right. The other